Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy Arhenis, and just wanted to talk about what I've learned this semester at Harvard. It has been quite some fun, and I feel like my advice to you guys is, if you guys are in university, is attend I know on the weekends everybody wants to take off, but I've been getting busy with hackathons and local events, and I feel like this has allowed me to network with more students and partake in more activities, and it's really made my experience here at Harvard so much more fun. And I know you want to do what you want to do on the weekends, it's understood. But I think that's something to be spoken for. Why I enrolled in school and I wanted to make it a full experience. And I've met so many friends. I can literally call them friends now, because I feel like we've hung out over the weekends, talked a lot about personalities and life and goals and what we're studying. And so yeah, I mean, it's just been awesome. So yeah, I can't emphasize how important it is to just enroll a school club, hang out with people that you have like-minded interests. If it's coding, if it's exercising, if it's politics, whatever, try to find your people and go out of your way, and on the weekends, try to hang out with these people. I've met so many people here on campus now. I'm just I walk around now and I'm kind of oh, hey man, it's become that. And I feel like I found my home again here, and I can't wait for the fall when I get to move on campus and I'm really there full time. I think it's gonna change the game for me. And I just really want to make this experience as fulfilling as possible, because like I said, people where I'm from usually don't get into schools like this, and I wanted to make a change with just everybody in my family, right? That was my goal, was set a bar so high that it's gonna motivate everybody else who comes behind me to do it. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me. On the software side, I've been doing really a lot of hackathons, which I can't say that, I mean, it's just been so much fun every weekend to be able to do these hackathons, meet other like-minded students. And I was able to become a finalist at a lot of these hackathons. I didn't win. I only won the Harvard Live AI. We got second place. We just got our prize money, but I didn't win as many as I thought I did. I got to a lot of the final rounds. But either way, it's still good. Sometimes it's just the pitch. I feel like I didn't do as great with the pitch sometimes, and that's something I'm working on myself. I didn't know you had to put so much homework into the pitch. So something that's coming. I'm gonna keep working on that. And I've seen some really good speakers too at some of the hackathons. These guys were really crafting their talk. So definitely note taken, areas I can work on. But in terms of engineering, I feel like I'm really targeting good problems, and I'm able to build out really good applications. And I think a lot of people have noticed that. So I'm really just excited that where my engineering is going, I feel really on top of it, and I feel like I'm really doing this summer, I have one class, but I just feel like this summer I'm gonna have about 2 to 3 months of just wiggle room. I spoke to an engineer here today in Cambridge, and there's an opportunity that they're looking to hire me. I feel like I've made a great impression, and I've also showed them my talents. So I mean, if that goes well, I am gonna be working between 2 projects. I do have my client that I'm still working with. We're finalizing some details before we jump into the project, and they actually kind of want to build something a little bit more. So, we're doing the consulting, the research right now before we start building. But with this other client, they already have their product, and it's very, I think what happened is they hired 2 juniors, and the way he explains it to me is that they're just not really passionate about the project, and they're not, building they're just not really doing their homework on the code. They're just shipping straight to production, which when you're in a startup in about 3 people, that's kind of risky. It's okay if I'm doing it on my own applications, right? But when you're working with a team, there should be some level of review. So I recommended some pipeline stuff that can help them out, and just kind of looking over the problems that they had and giving them advice on how I would tackle some things. And I think there's a high possibility I might get this job, and I like this job even though it's gonna pay less, than when I would like, but it's because it's so close to school. And also the guy who runs it, he's a Harvard student as well, right? So like they said, if they raise their next Series A, they would bring me in full time for and a pay raise. So it's kind of like, hey, a few months work with us, lower pay, and then if we get that Series A, full pay. So I am considering that. And then I'm also in the interview process with another company. I don't want to say who, but they are pretty big. They're in the AI space, and if I pass their technical next week, they will fly me out to San Francisco where I'll do an on-site, and if I pass that, then I'll get an offer. That would have to if I do take that, I would have to relocate. So, we'll see. Even though they might pay more, I still kind of would just rather stay around. Like I really do want to make my Harvard experience as great as possible. And that kind of means I can't make as much money as I probably could, if I was to go travel to the Bay or New York or something like that, right? So I'm gonna try to find something local and that just covers the basis that I need. And then that way I can still live on campus in the fall and I get, access to all the cool stuff that Harvard has. I spoke to the blockchain club over the last weekend, and they were really excited to have me start joining the club. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I feel like I said, just joining those student clubs, hanging out on the weekends with other students. I've made so many friends now at Harvard. I'm starting to feel like it's my home now, and I'm just excited. It's been fun. I didn't expect this for myself a few months ago, where I was kind of I moved back up to Boston and I was sitting alone, and I was kind of like, man, what do I do with my time? I just don't want to sit around wasting time. And then I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about doing this degree at Harvard forever. I'm not gonna put another day of excuse on it. I'm just gonna do it. And I've did it, and I don't regret it at all. I'm so happy. I wake up and I just feel good. I feel like I'm really happy with my decision. And yeah, a lot of opportunities. I'm hanging out with a lot of MIT students as well, and I just feel like everybody's now big family. So yeah. Other things I feel like I've learned this semester is going back, math. I didn't really math is not to be taken for granted. It's such at the root of everything. You don't even notice it, but really understanding math theory, applied math, understanding different areas of math, really gives you a good engineering foundation, just a way to think about solving problems. And I was able to get, back in the groove of things, being back in school. When you're in engineering, you're just solving problems on your computer. You're just doing, software engineering related stuff. But yeah, I just didn't really realize how important math is. And, some of these students out here were science majors. I've met so many physics majors, doing PhDs. AI PhDs, all kinds of people trying to finish their PhDs, and I didn't know it took 5 years to do a PhD. Damn. I don't think I'm gonna do a PhD. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the idea of it. I don't think I'm gonna go there. I think I'm gonna be pretty happy after I get my master's. I think, in my opinion, it's great for a lot of people, and I kind of do see it. It makes sense. Some of the students who come here and are doing PhDs might be from international. They've got their masters, and then they're just, getting paid to do research. But just given my personality type, I feel like I might not really want to use 5 years of being kind of an unpaid intern. I mean, you still make a good living, but I think I would want more. So that's just kind of something I realized. But I am gonna get the master's, regardless of the fact I'm doing the master's. This is no joke. And I'm kind of now starting to lean into finance again. I'm really thinking, I'm still doing computer science as my undergrad. Because the degree, they don't have an undergrad in finance. They have an undergrad in computer science, but I can minor in finance. And then I'm also planning to do my master's in maybe finance. I mean, I've been seriously thinking about it, and this would go really just well with everything that I do in terms of crypto, in terms of trading, in terms of all the other outside interests and skill sets I have. I feel like just those two right there is me. I can talk about it for days. I feel like, so I feel like I found my bread and butter. And yeah, so I think that's gonna be my track. And outside studies, I'm still learning like AI. I mean, I'm very bullish on AI. I am gonna take some online courses on machine learning, but this is on my own time. This is not part of college. I don't think I'm gonna do a college track in machine learning. I'm gonna go there and do finance and start working and learning with like other professors and opportunities. And yeah, just gonna try to do that. And I think it makes the most sense for me, And in other news, yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of studies on my own. So this summer, I'm planning to take some classes, some stuff in AI, machine learning. I really am bullish on this and I wanna get much better. I feel like my understanding now is way better than it was at the beginning of the year. But I feel like I still don't know enough, and so I want to learn more. I'm like, that's personal, like I'm gonna do it on my own time. And I'm gonna be doing some DevOps stuff too. I really am now starting to think about infrastructure a lot, especially now that I'm already I would say like a pretty fair developer. I don't know, I don't want to consider myself a senior developer, but I definitely feel like I'm much above a junior, probably like a mid-level, right? I think with a few more, maybe like another couple years, I could get to that senior level status, senior software engineer. I can easily say that if I stick on the same path. But yeah, just excited. I feel like honestly, I've made so many great friends, man. Shout out to everybody who even watches this channel. I mean, I just wanted to kind of update you guys on my experience. This video wasn't supposed to be too formal, but it was like, yeah, college has been awesome. I don't care where you're at in life. I have so many people everywhere from like 20s, 30s, 40s, and it's just so awesome to be around these people who are all trying to improve their lives and are just so honest and open and willing to learn and help each other out. And yeah, I can't say enough good things. I don't know why college sometimes gets a bad rap. And when I graduated community college, a few years back, I was already in the real world working, trying to build my business, and I was doing pretty good. But I didn't realize that you just never stop learning, and you should never feel like going back to school is a bad decision or you don't have it all figured out. This has given me, I could easily say, more purpose again, and it's just given me more direction, and I'm just so happy to be around people who are doing similar things. And I'm even able to mentor some of these people who don't even understand. I'm here explaining things to Harvard students, PhD students. I'm not even kidding when I say computer science PhD, and there's certain areas that they don't understand. And I'm like, wait, you don't get how this works? Well, let me teach you, young bull, right? It's so cool. And vice versa too. When I don't understand something, they're explaining it to me. And so, but I just think it's so cool, just to be able to share that kind of wisdom with each other. And yeah, I don't know, it's been so awesome. But I really just wanted to share my stories, guys. I mean, I just want to tell you guys, this semester has been awesome. I felt like this video was overdue a little bit, but I wanted to wait till the end of the semester. Classes end in a week. And for this summer, I plan to be around a lot more. Campus will be a little bit slower, so I'm actually going to be on campus a lot more. We'll be biking a lot. The weather's already good, so I'm definitely trying to be outside as much as possible. And yeah, next month is Tech Week, so I'm going to New York for a week, and I'm bringing you guys along. I'm gonna think about the style of video I'm gonna do, because it's gonna be a really hectic week with a lot going on, and so I'm gonna start planning that out. But yeah, look forward to that. And yeah, guys, like I said, don't ever stop learning. Just keep bettering yourself. And yeah, man, I'm just so grateful to even be here. So all right, guys, to the next one.